Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Frank Warren, Filip Hrgovic, and Moses Itauma. Get this, according to Frank Warren, Hrgovic turned down the Moses Itauma bout, coil over same trainer rule. Frank Warren admits a fight between Filip Hrgovic and Moses Itauma was on the table but never came together because Hrgovic's camp declined. Warren believes the shared trainer situation played a part in stalling the deal, with Hrgovic recovering from a cut and Itauma's momentum growing after his dominant one-round KO of White. Boxing fans are asking, will this matchup ever blossom, or was it shelved before it even had a pulse? And let me counterpunch. If you want rounds, yeah, you can have rounds, but I think this depends on where. It may go rounds in Saudi Arabia if it was going to happen. Filip Hrgovic wants more money, and I think what we've heard about Filip Hrgovic, let's keep it a buck. You know that Filip, he prices himself out, okay? Because he had an opportunity to take on Joseph Parker, if you guys don't know. So, yeah, and he priced himself out. He asked for too much money, according to Frank Warren. You know what I mean? And when you have those type of expectations and you have that type of demand, you know, your supply has to be high, right? And unfortunately for Filip Hrgovic, his supply is not high. So the demand that he wants for his supply, he will soon not be that guy. That's why they didn't go with him. You know, so him wanting the idea of fighting Moses Itauma, I think what they need to do is either, if they believe in Moses Itauma, they need to pay guys like Filip Hrgovic, a guy that has been tested. You seen his last fight? That dude took a lot of punches. That was one hell of a round that we saw. You know what I mean? Between Adelaide and Filip Hrgovic. Even though Filip Hrgovic won, I think Adelaide showed that he is one hard-hitting mofo. Okay, Adelaide didn't really lose any stock. He has shown that, hey, this guy can throw those bows. You know, he may not have the experience or whatever, but he has punching power. Also, though, Filip Hrgovic has a good chin. And I think those are the type of fighters that are ideal for Moses Itauma. But if Filip shuts it down, I mean, what can you do? You know, if he's already passed on a Joseph Parker fight, he's going to pass on a Moses Itauma fight. Because, you know, at least with Joseph Parker, it would have been some type of opportunity, you know, for the title fight. Which I don't understand why he did that shit. That should have been more of a sacrifice of, hey, let me take this chance in fighting Joseph Parker. And this is granted before Parker decided to fight Fabio Wardley. So if he didn't take that chance with Joseph Parker for a title opportunity, what makes you think he's going to take a fight with Moses Itauma? And I don't see the money being any different either. So if it's, you know, not only this guy may be a harder fight for him, but then you're going to pay me less money than I asked for against Joseph Parker. So it's not, look, it's not going to work out well for Filip Hrgovic. He's not going to take just any old money, okay? That's just not what I see. So I see the irony of this, though. If you guys can remember, Filip Hrgovic, 4 or 5 years ago, about 4 years ago, to be fair, he was having problems just like Moses Itauma getting fights. Remember that? Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, Dillian White. Who else? A lot of people did not want that Filip Hrgovic fight. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Filip for a minute. Filip Hrgovic was a guy that at age 19, okay, a very long time ago, he sparred Deontay Wilder, gave Deontay Wilder rounds, and they went head-to-head, toe-to-toe. you know, and he was known, like Errol Spence was known for fighting Mayweather, or Daniel Dubois in the AJ sparring sessions. You know, he was, needless to say, one of those guys that got his hype points from fighting, sparring, should I say, Deontay Wilder. So that's where he came into question, and he was a big dude, and, you know, he was undefeated, and he was moving up in the IBF rankings, and people didn't want to fight him, and that made him more sought after, or his reputation more concrete or convincing, because people were ducking him. You see what I mean? Now, at this point of his career, he's not that guy anymore. Moses Itauma is. Right? So I think he knows what it's like to be the ducked fighter. However, I will say this, right? Maybe, just maybe, Filip Hrgovic is not taking each and every fight because he knows what it's like. Bars. You know, maybe he's that guy that knows, like, you know what, I was where Moses is, so he has to wait like I did. Therefore, I'm out. But you guys tell me what you think of Filip Hrgovic turning down the fight with Moses Itauma. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!